So, let us now look at examples of what graphs integrated into the Qlik Sense system might look like. What properties, features, and characteristics they have. The first graph variant is a network graph, the so-called network graph. It looks in the traditional sense of the term graph, i.e., it consists of vertices and connections between them. As a data set for the Qlik Sense application, the model was loaded with transactions between bank accounts, namely transactions of money transfers from client to bank, and between different accounts of the same client. Accordingly, the graph diagram shows customers and banks as vertices and directed cash flows as edges. Since the object is fully integrated into the Qlik system, it also has the basic properties that platform objects have. In particular, if we perform a selection of values in filters or adjacent areas, our graph is rebuilt with the selection performed. For clarity, let's remove the transfers within clients on their different accounts. This graph has two modes of operation. The first mode is called single node selections. In this mode, in case of selecting one of the nodes of the graph, only the selected node and its first level links are displayed. This mode is used when we want to examine the components of the graph one by one in order to concentrate only on the closest connections. If we select a neighboring vertex, the whole focus shifts to it. The second mode is called node chain. In this mode, if we select any of the vertices of the graph, it is displayed together with its connections in addition to the previously selected vertices. This type of analysis is used when we want to examine a chain of links sequentially, moving smoothly from one vertex to another. The following options are available as graph settings when generating its display, in addition to the basic ones. As a rule, it is customized to display the proportions of one of the indicators, for example, the number or volume of transactions. Captions to vertices and edges are also customized as a formula expression of the value. The color palette is customized to be used when it is informative. Such as the graph currently displayed on the screen. Third-party jars are highlighted in yellow. Let me remind you that in the demonstrated example, transactions of one particular bank are loaded. So, other banks are displayed in yellow color and the payments of the clients of the researched bank in relation to the clients of third-party banks are analyzed. The next type of graph. This is the grid graph. It displays all available vertices and first-level links in the form of a star. It is used when there is no need to analyze complex relationships, but there is a need for detailed analysis of first-level relationships. This display allows you to visually evaluate for each node how many links it has, what kind of links they are, and what size they are. If on a large graph this information is not obvious, here the information is presented visually, which allows you to quickly focus on the most prominent objects. Another type of graph is directed data graph, which means directed graph. It is used when there is a certain process with a characteristic movement from one point to another. In its dialogue, it resembles a Sankey chart-type diagram, used to show the flow from one set of values to another. For example, cash flow, budget or cost allocation, flows, traffic, business process illustration, etc. The flow is divided into several key levels, and we can define for each node the level it is at. As a result, all nodes are categorized into their levels, starting from the first and ending with the last one. The number of such levels is limited by the logic of the business process that is visualized using the graph. At the same time, the links are displayed as they are. They can be within one level, they can skip levels and lead immediately to the next ones, they can be displayed in the opposite direction, if this logic is allowed in the process under consideration. The demonstrated example visualizes the stages of data flow from source systems to the final Qlik applications that are available to end users. The data is transformed in 3 stages using QVD storage mechanisms. As a result of the formation of such a graph, we get a clear picture of data flows, and at any time we can quickly find out what data is involved at different stages of analytics creation in BI. For example, selecting the final sales application, we see 3 sets of data analyzed in it. These are the planned values. These are the actual turnover values. And a set of reference data. Reference data are pulled into the application from the second level. Among the features of the implementation, we can single out the option of selecting the measure displayed on the edges of the graph. This functionality is realized through the standard functionality of working with variables. When selecting one of the options, the graph displays the values of either the average daily number of rows participating in the process or the average daily volume of data passing through the nodes, measured in megabytes. When generating this graph, similarly to the previous ones, you can customize the color palette, fonts, display format, starting with icons and ending with object types such as rhombuses, dots, circles, as shown in the example below. The same graph is displayed here, but with levels color-coded by their type. Sources. Your own data to UVD. And final applications.